All right, welcome. Lesson number 2, solving rational equations. So, for my pre-calc class, do you remember this, right? What does it mean to be rational? Rational means you have some a over b, right? So you have some, we have the x and the variables are on the denominator. How do we solve these types of equations, right? What I want you to do is you could take a look and read this for yourself, pause the video, copy it down. These are nice and easy steps to be able to solve this equation, right? Step number 1, factor all the polynomial expressions, right? So here, you look at every single polynomial. This polynomial, we can't factor this. You can't factor this, you can't factor this. This is the only guy you could factor. So to factor this, it's simply this x squared plus x is really just x times x plus 1. And what's the question, what do you want to do with this x times x plus 1, right? You see here, this has an x plus 1, but it's missing a what? It's missing an x. This has both of them, right? And this is missing a what? It's missing an x plus 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply through by the common denominator of all the terms. This is the common denominator, right? This is common. So this is the common denominator. Okay. And what does that mean? Basically, how can I explain this? They all need this to be able to cancel out the denominators. Okay, so let's see what happened when we multiply this x times x plus 1 to all three of these things, right? So let's see. Let me pause the video so I don't waste time. We're going to take this and multiply this to each one of these guys, right? So what I want you to do is do that yourself. What should it look like? You're going to multiply this. Right? You're going to multiply this x times x plus 1. This one, same thing. X times x plus 1. And this one, x times x plus 1. Right? You're going to multiply all of this to all of this. Okay? Now what happens? Here, let's use this color purple. Notice when you multiply this to this cancels. Right? So what are you left with? You're left with x times 2. So this becomes 2x. What about here? This, when you multiply this to this cancels. So now you have minus 1. And now here, this x and this x cancel. So you're left with is equal to 3 times x plus 1. All right? We went from here to here just by multiplying by the common denominator, right? And the question is, why are you allowed to do this? Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. If you multiply this whole side by x times x plus 1, and you multiply the other side by x times x plus 1, it doesn't change the equation. It keeps the equations equal. Now here, reduce whenever possible. Okay, so now how do we reduce this? This is what? 2x minus 1 equals 3x plus 3. All right, so we reduced it. Solve the resulting equation. Okay, now this is linear. This is easy peasy. And then we got to check our answer. Okay. So if I wanted to solve this equation, what would it be? I could do, let me zoom in a little bit. Oh, sorry. This is a plus 1, so 2x equals 3x plus 4. Then you do minus 3x, right? So then you have negative x equals 4. Multiply both sides by negative 1. And now you have x equals negative 4, right? And once you get to this point, you have to ask yourself, Are you allowed to have negative 4 in the denominator? If x is equal to negative 4, right? If x equals negative 4, remember, the denominator, you cannot have 0 in the denominator, right? If I put in negative 4, is negative 4 plus 1 equal to 0? Question mark. No. So this is okay. What about this? What is negative 4 squared plus 4? Does this equal 0? Question mark. And no, this does not equal 0. So this is okay. What about here? If x is equal to negative 4, this is not 0. So you're allowed to use x equals negative 4. Okay? Hope you remember how to do some of these. What I'd like you to do is work on the worksheet, and in another video I'll try and show other examples, okay? Go. Good luck.